The African savanna stretches endlessly, a living tapestry woven from golden grasses, ancient acacia trees, and the ever-changing light of dawn and dusk. Beneath the vast cloud-streaked sky, every inch of this land pulses with the rhythm of survival. Herds of antelope drift like shadows across the plains, their movements synchronized in a silent ballet, while solitary predators stalk through the tall grass, eyes fixed on the vulnerable and the unwary. Life begins here in the most fragile of moments. A newborn gazelle takes its first trembling steps, watched over by a vigilant mother as dragonflies skim the surface of a shrinking waterhole and the distant roar of a lion echoes across the morning air. The savanna is a realm of contrasts, beauty and brutality entwined. Predators like lions and hyenas move with calculated patience, reading the wind and the subtle signals of their prey, while antelope and zebra remain ever alert, their senses honed by generations of close escapes. As the sun arcs across the sky, the savanna transforms. Shadows lengthen, temperatures soar, and the struggle for water intensifies. Wildebeest gather at muddy waterholes, jostling for space, while crocodiles lurk just beneath the surface, waiting for a moment of weakness. Towering giraffes delicately pluck leaves from the highest branches, their long tongues navigating thorns with practiced ease. Elephants, the architects of the savanna, carve new paths through dense brush, their movements shaping the landscape for countless other species. Zebras graze in tight-knit groups, their stripes a living camouflage against the shifting light. Mixed herds of impala, wildebeest, and ostrich move together, each species benefiting from the heightened vigilance of the others. Beneath their feet, termites engineer vast underground cities, recycling dead plant matter and aerating the soil. Weaver birds construct intricate nests in the acacia branches, while dung beetles roll their precious cargo across the earth, ensuring nutrients return to the land. Every interaction is a thread in the web of life. Predators test the herds test the predators, and the outcome of each encounter shapes the future of both hunter and hunted. The savanna's challenges are relentless. During the dry season, water becomes a battleground. Lions crouch in the shade, waiting for the desperate to approach, while hyenas patrol the periphery, ready to seize any opportunity. Predators have evolved with razor-sharp claws, powerful jaws, and a cunning intelligence. Prey animals counter with explosive speed, acute hearing, and the ability to read the faintest sign of danger, a snapped twig, a shift in the wind. The chase is a spectacle of raw power and agility, a cheetah's sprint, a gazelle's leap, a wildebeest's sudden turn. Each movement is a testament to the evolutionary arms race that defines this land. The environment itself is a formidable adversary. Droughts parch the earth, forcing migrations across vast distances. When the rains finally return, the savanna erupts in green, and new life flourishes in the wake of hardship. Seasons dictate the rhythm of existence. Herds travel hundreds of miles in search of fresh grazing, crossing rivers swollen with crocodiles and plains where predators lie in wait. Adaptation is the key to survival. Elephants dig for hidden water, meerkats post sentinels to warn of danger, and lion cubs learn the art of stalking from their mothers, each lesson vital for the next generation. The savanna is a living mosaic, shaped by the interplay of climate, competition, and cooperation. Every sunrise brings new challenges, every sunset marks the survival of another day. As night falls, a different cast emerges. Nocturnal hunters prowl under the moon, and the chorus of insects swells, reminding us that the struggle for life never truly sleeps. Even in death, life persists. Scavengers and decomposers ensure that nothing is wasted, returning vital nutrients to the soil and fueling the next cycle of growth. The resilience of the savanna is legendary. After fire or drought, seeds hidden beneath the earth burst forth and the land is reborn, ready to host the endless drama once more. This is the endless stage of life and survival, a world where every creature, from the smallest insect to the mightiest elephant, plays a vital role in the grand, unbroken story of the African savanna. The African savanna stretches endlessly, a vast and dynamic stage where some of the world's most formidable predators reign supreme. These apex predators are not only hunters, but also crucial architects of the ecosystem, shaping the balance of life by regulating prey populations and influencing the behavior of other species. Among them, the lion stands out as a symbol of strength and unity. Lions are the only truly social big cats, forming complex family groups known as prides, which can include up to 3 adult males, a dozen or more related females, and their offspring. Within the pride, each member has a distinct role. Lionesses, often sisters or cousins, form the core of the group, cooperating to raise cubs, defend territory, and hunt. Their hunting strategy relies on stealth, coordination, and patience. Lionesses fan out in the tall grass, using subtle signals and silent movement to encircle herds of prey, then launch a sudden, synchronized attack. Male lions, with their imposing size and thick manes, serve as guardians. They patrol the boundaries of the pride's territory, marking it with scent and roaring to deter rivals. A lion's roar is a powerful tool of communication, capable of traveling up to 8 kilometers, signaling dominance and unity to both allies and adversaries. Yet the savanna is shared with other formidable hunters, each with their own unique adaptations and social systems. Spotted hyenas, the lion's most persistent competitors, are highly intelligent and resourceful. Their reputation as mere scavengers belies their true nature as accomplished hunters and complex social beings. Hyenas employ endurance hunting, often pursuing prey over long distances until it collapses from exhaustion. Their powerful jaws and digestive systems allow them to consume nearly every part of a carcass, recycling nutrients back into the ecosystem. Hyena clans are matriarchal, led by a dominant female whose authority is absolute. Social bonds are reinforced through grooming, vocalizations, and intricate greeting ceremonies, creating a tightly knit community. Their bone-crushing bite is unmatched, enabling them to access marrow and nutrients unavailable to other predators, and their communal feeding often involves complex negotiations and displays of rank. Hyenas are primarily nocturnal, using acute senses of smell and hearing to locate prey or carrion in the darkness. Their vocal repertoire includes whoops, giggles, and groans, each serving a specific social or territorial function. Interactions between lions and hyenas are marked by fierce rivalry. Clashes over kills can escalate into violent confrontations, with both species displaying tactical aggression, teamwork, and even strategic retreats. The savanna is also home to a diverse array of other predators, each occupying a distinct ecological niche and employing specialized hunting techniques. The cheetah, slender and built for speed, relies on keen eyesight to spot prey from afar. Its flexible spine and long limbs allow for explosive acceleration. During a chase, the cheetah can reach speeds exceeding 100 kilometers per hour, but only for short bursts, making timing and precision critical to its success. Cheetahs are typically solitary, with males sometimes forming small coalitions, while females raise cubs alone, teaching them to hunt through play and demonstration. Leopards, elusive and adaptable, are masters of ambush. Their solitary nature and secretive habits allow them to thrive in varied habitats, from dense woodlands to rocky outcrops. They hunt primarily at night, using stealth and patience to approach prey undetected, often stalking within meters before launching a swift attack. Leopards exploit vertical space, ambushing from above or dragging kills into trees to avoid competition from larger carnivores. Their immense strength enables them to hoist prey several times their own weight, securing meals high above the reach of scavengers. African wild dogs or painted wolves are renowned for their cooperative hunting and intricate social bonds. Packs are led by a dominant breeding pair, with all members participating in the care of pups. Their hunts are highly organized, with individuals assuming specific roles such as chasers, blockers, and ambushers, maximizing efficiency and success. Communication is constant, involving a chorus of yips, whines, and tail signals that coordinate movement and reinforce social cohesion. Wild dogs excel in endurance, pursuing prey over vast distances and relying on relentless teamwork to exhaust and isolate their target. Once prey is caught, the entire pack feeds rapidly, minimizing the risk of losing their hard-earned meal to larger predators. In the waterways, the Nile crocodile lies in wait, a patient and ancient predator perfectly adapted to ambush. With explosive power, the crocodile launches from the water's edge, seizing unsuspecting animals with a vice-like grip, then dragging them beneath the surface in a display of silent, lethal efficiency. Across the vast African savanna, a delicate balance unfolds each day. For every predator, there exists a multitude of prey, creatures whose lives are shaped by vigilance, adaptation, and the constant threat of being hunted. The herbivores, wildebeest, zebras, gazelles, and countless others, form the backbone of the ecosystem. Their existence is a testament to the art of survival, where every sense is finely tuned to detect the faintest sign of danger. These animals possess acute hearing, a keen sense of smell, and wide-set eyes that grant them panoramic vision, essential tools for early detection of predators. At the slightest hint of threat, herds become statuesque, scanning the horizon. In an instant, they are ready to bolt, their survival hinging on split-second reactions. Living in large groups offers a formidable advantage. With dozens, sometimes hundreds, of eyes and ears, the odds of detecting a stalking predator increase dramatically. When danger is spotted, a single alarm call can trigger a wave of panic, sending the entire herd surging away in a coordinated escape. This collective vigilance is the essence of safety in numbers. For predators, a tightly packed herd presents a challenge. Confusion reigns as bodies scatter, making it difficult to isolate a single target. This confusion is a powerful defense. Not all prey relies solely on flight. The Cape buffalo, for instance, is a formidable opponent. Its sheer size and strength make it a daunting prospect for even the most determined predator. Buffalo herds are fiercely protective, especially of their young. Adults form a living shield facing outward, ready to confront any threat with aggression and unity. When provoked, buffaloes will charge as a unit, employing a tactic known as mobbing. This overwhelming force can drive off, injure, or even kill a predator. Other species, like giraffes, wield powerful kicks as a deterrent, while smaller antelope and young gazelles rely on stealth, remaining motionless and hidden in the tall grasses. Speed and agility are the trademarks of gazelles. When pursued, they execute rapid, unpredictable turns, often outmaneuvering even the fastest predators like cheetahs. Their leaping, zigzagging movements, known as stotting or pronking, can disorient attackers. Meanwhile, many young animals are born with cryptic coloration, blending seamlessly into their environment. Each prey species, from the mighty buffalo to the nimble gazelle, plays a vital ecological role. Their adaptations not only ensure their own survival, but also sustain the intricate web of life that defines the African plains. The Great Migration stands as one of nature's most extraordinary spectacles, a relentless journey that shapes the very fabric of the African ecosystem. Each year, immense herds of wildebeest, zebras, and gazelles traverse a vast circuit across the Serengeti and Masai Mara, driven by the pursuit of sustenance and survival. The migration is orchestrated by the rhythm of the rains, as animals instinctively follow the promise of fresh grazing grounds. This odyssey is fueled by the need for nutrient-rich grass and vital water sources, with herds covering hundreds of kilometers in search of these essentials. The migration forms a living river, a ceaseless flow of bodies that transforms the landscape and supports countless other species. Seasonal shifts bring both opportunity and adversity, as the herds must adapt to parched earth, sudden storms, and the ever-changing terrain. Vigilance is constant. Every step is shadowed by the threat of predation and the unpredictability of the wild. The migration's sheer scale draws the attention of Africa's apex predators, who track the herds with unwavering focus. Lions, hyenas, leopards, and cheetahs synchronize their movements with the migration, exploiting moments of vulnerability among the travelers. For these predators, the migration is a period of abundance where opportunity and danger are in constant flux. Strategic ambushes are common, with predators targeting individuals that stray from the safety of the herd or show signs of fatigue. Patience and intelligence define the hunting strategies as predators observe, wait and exploit the weaknesses revealed by the relentless march. The grueling journey takes its toll, and exhaustion becomes a silent adversary, making the weary easy targets. High-speed chases and desperate escapes unfold daily, each encounter a testament to the raw struggle for existence. Among the most formidable obstacles are the rivers such as the Mara, where the journey's most perilous moments await. Herds gather at the banks, tension mounting before they surge into the turbulent waters in a display of collective courage. Beneath the surface, Nile crocodiles, ancient and formidable, lie in wait, perfectly adapted for ambush. These reptiles exhibit remarkable patience, remaining motionless for hours, awaiting the chaos of the crossing. As the herds plunge forward, crocodiles strike with explosive force, seizing any animal caught in the current or separated from the group. The river crossings are scenes of chaos, panic, confusion, and the ever-present risk of drowning or predation. For the crocodiles, these moments are vital, providing sustenance that will last until the next migration. Yet the migration endures. The herds press onward, undeterred by loss, driven by instinct and necessity. Safety lies in numbers. The dense concentration of animals dilutes individual risk, a natural defense against predation. The overwhelming presence of the herds can even deter some predators who must choose their targets with care. Unique behaviors emerge. Zebras, with their superior memory, often guide the wildebeest, navigating ancient routes with precision. The migration is a testament to adaptation, cooperation, and the indomitable will to survive, played out on a grand scale. As dusk falls, the savannah is alive with the echoes of this ancient journey, a perpetual cycle of challenge and endurance, where every animal's fate is intertwined with the land and its inhabitants. In the unforgiving expanse of the African savannah, solitude is a dangerous gamble. A lone animal faces constant threats, predators, starvation, and the relentless elements. That's why so many species have evolved to live in tightly knit social groups where cooperation is the key to survival. These groups function as extended families, offering not just companionship, but a sophisticated network of support, vigilance, and shared responsibility. For lions, the pride is the very foundation of their existence, a complex social structure built on cooperation and mutual defense. Within the pride, every member has a defined role. Lionesses, often related by blood, form the core of the group, working together to hunt, raise cubs, and defend territory. Females synchronize births and share nursing duties, ensuring that even if one mother is lost, her cubs have a chance to survive. Cubs benefit from this communal care, with multiple lionesses acting as guardians, teachers, and providers. This shared upbringing not only increases the cubs' survival odds, but also forges strong social bonds that last a lifetime. Male lions, meanwhile, serve as the pride's defenders. They patrol boundaries, ward off rival males, and risk their lives to protect the group from intruders. Hyenas, too, are masters of social organization. Their clans can number up to 80 individuals, each with a precise place in a strict hierarchy. Female hyenas dominate the social order, and rank is inherited matrilineally, shaping every interaction within the clan. Cubs born to high-ranking females enjoy better access to food and protection, while lower-ranking members must wait their turn. Communication is vital. Hyenas use a rich repertoire of vocalizations, from haunting whoops to cackling giggles, to coordinate hunts, signal distress, or reinforce social bonds. During hunts or territorial disputes, these calls allow the clan to act as a single, coordinated unit, overwhelming prey or repelling rivals through sheer force of numbers. By working together, hyenas can bring down animals several times their size and defend their hard-won meals from even the most formidable predators. Their teamwork is a marvel of nature. Each member knows its role, whether leading the chase, flanking, or blocking escape routes. But cooperation isn't limited to predators. Herbivores, too, rely on the safety of numbers. Herds of wildebeest, zebras, and buffalo form living fortresses, where many eyes and ears increase the chances of detecting danger early. Elephant herds are led by the matriarch, whose wisdom and memory guide the group to water and food, especially in times of drought. Her leadership is crucial. She recalls ancient migration routes and hidden waterholes, ensuring the herd's survival through the harshest seasons. When threatened, elephants form an impenetrable circle around their calves, presenting a wall of tusks and trunks to any would-be attacker. Even the most determined predators hesitate before challenging such a united front. The bonds between herd members are reinforced daily through touch, vocalizations, and shared experiences, creating a resilient social fabric. Smaller animals, too, harness the power of the group. Meerkats, for example, live in cooperative mobs, where sentinels keep watch while others forage. Baboons form large, intricate troops with complex hierarchies, where grooming and alliances are essential for social harmony. They forage as a unit, sharing information about food sources and keeping a constant lookout for danger. Designated sentries climb high vantage points, scanning for predators and alerting the troop with specific alarm calls. At the first sign of a threat, a single bark can trigger a coordinated retreat, saving countless lives. African wild dogs are perhaps the most efficient cooperative hunters on the savannah, relying on precise teamwork and relentless stamina. After a successful hunt, the entire pack shares food, regurgitating meat for pups and adults who stayed behind to guard the den. Across the savannah, the spirit of cooperation, intricate social dynamics, and collective defense are the invisible threads that bind animal societies together, ensuring not just survival, but the flourishing of life in one of the world's most challenging environments. Across the vast African savannah, every species is a testament to the power of evolutionary adaptation, each possessing specialized traits that ensure survival in this demanding ecosystem. These adaptations, both physiological and behavioral, are finely tuned to the challenges of their environment, enabling each animal to thrive. Speed is a critical adaptation for both predator and prey. The cheetah exemplifies this with a lightweight frame, elongated limbs, and a highly flexible spine, allowing it to accelerate rapidly and reach speeds exceeding 60 miles per hour. This anatomical precision makes the cheetah the fastest terrestrial animal, capable of overtaking swift prey in short bursts. Gazelles, in turn, possess lightweight bodies, powerful hind limbs, and exceptional agility, enabling them to execute rapid directional changes and evade pursuit. This dynamic interaction drives an evolutionary arms race, with both predator and prey continuously refining their adaptations for speed and maneuverability. Power and strength are equally vital adaptations. The lion's robust musculature and compact build are engineered for explosive force, facilitating ambush tactics and the subduing of formidable prey. This physical prowess enables lions to bring down large herbivores, demonstrating the importance of raw strength in predation. The Cape buffalo, a paragon of defensive adaptation, boasts a dense muscular frame and immense body mass, often exceeding 2,000 pounds. Its thick, curved horns serve as formidable weapons, providing both protection and dominance within the herd. The Nile crocodile is equipped with one of the most powerful bites in the animal kingdom, a physiological adaptation that allows it to seize and restrain large prey at the water's edge. This immense jaw strength is essential for both predation and defense in aquatic environments. Not all adaptations are based on physical might. Many are rooted in behavioral ingenuity and heightened sensory perception. Camouflage is a sophisticated adaptation, allowing both predators and prey to remain undetected within their habitats. The leopard's dappled coat mimics the interplay of light and shadow in the forest, rendering it nearly invisible as it stalks through dense vegetation. Juvenile animals such as fawns and calves often possess cryptic coloration, enabling them to remain concealed in tall grasses during vulnerable periods. Prey species have evolved acute sensory adaptations, enhancing their ability to detect threats. Zebras, for instance, possess large, highly mobile ears capable of rotating to capture sounds from all directions. Their wide-set eyes provide an expansive field of vision, crucial for early detection of predators. Communication systems represent another layer of adaptation, facilitating coordinated responses to environmental cues. Vervet monkeys, for example, have developed an intricate repertoire of vocalizations, each corresponding to specific threats. Distinct alarm calls trigger precise behavioral responses, such as seeking refuge in trees or concealing themselves in undergrowth. A particular call signals the presence of terrestrial predators, prompting rapid ascent into the canopy. Another call warns of aerial danger, eliciting evasive maneuvers and concealment. A third vocalization indicates a reptilian threat, causing vigilant scanning of the ground. This advanced communication system significantly enhances survival prospects by enabling rapid, collective responses to diverse threats. From the cheetah's unparalleled speed to the cryptic camouflage of the leopard and the sophisticated signaling of vervet monkeys, the savannah is a living showcase of extraordinary adaptations, each a product of millions of years of evolutionary refinement, ensuring the continued success of its remarkable inhabitants. The African savannah is a land of extremes, where life is shaped by the relentless cycle of two dominant seasons, the rainy season and the dry season. Each brings sweeping transformations to the landscape and triggers profound changes in the behavior and survival of every creature that inhabits these vast plains. When the rains arrive, the parched earth is revived. Torrential downpours soak the soil, and within days, the savannah bursts into life. Grasses sprout rapidly, wildflowers bloom, and dormant seeds awaken, painting the plains in vibrant greens and colors. The abundance of fresh vegetation draws immense herds of herbivores, wildebeest, zebras, buffalo, and antelope, who graze on the nutrient-rich grass. The landscape becomes a patchwork of moving animals, each species following ancient migratory routes in search of the best grazing grounds. Rivers swell and waterholes brim with fresh water, attracting animals from miles around. Elephants, giraffes, and antelope gather in large numbers to drink and bathe, while aquatic life flourishes in the temporary pools and streams. The rainy season is also the peak of the birthing period. Many species, such as impala and wildebeest, synchronize their calving so that thousands of young are born within a short window. This mass birth event, known as birth synchrony, floods the savannah with vulnerable newborns. Birth synchrony is a survival strategy. By overwhelming predators with sheer numbers, it increases the odds that many calves will survive their most fragile days. Predators like lions, hyenas, and cheetahs take advantage of the bounty, but even they cannot consume all the young. The savannah teems with life. Herds swell in size, and the air is filled with the calls of newborns and the bustle of protective mothers. Insects, birds, and reptiles also thrive, taking advantage of the lush conditions to breed and feed. As the rains fade and clouds give way to unrelenting sun, the dry season begins. The transformation is swift and dramatic. Grasses wither and turn brittle, wildflowers vanish, and the once green plains become a sea of gold and brown. Water sources dwindle rapidly, rivers recede to cracked beds, and waterholes shrink to muddy puddles. Animals must travel ever greater distances to find water, often congregating at the last remaining pools, where competition is fierce. The scarcity of food and water triggers massive migrations. Wildebeest and zebra trek hundreds of kilometers, following the scent of rain and the promise of greener pastures. The journey is perilous. Many old, young, or weak animals succumb to exhaustion, thirst, or predation along the way. Survival during the dry season demands resilience and adaptability. Some animals, like elephants, use their tusks to dig for underground water, while others, such as oryx and gazelles, can survive on minimal moisture by feeding on drought-resistant plants. Predators, meanwhile, become more active and opportunistic, stalking weakened prey at waterholes and along migration routes. The lack of tall grass exposes prey animals, making them more vulnerable to ambush. Waterholes become hotspots for dramatic encounters, as predators lie in wait for the thirsty herds. Crocodiles lurk in the muddy pools, while lions and hyenas patrol the perimeters, ready to strike at any sign of weakness. The dry season intensifies the struggle for survival. Social bonds are tested as herds fragment in search of resources, and only the most resourceful individuals endure. Some species, like the hartebeest, dig for roots, while others, such as the secretary bird, shift their diet to insects and reptiles. As the cycle continues, the first distant rumble of thunder signals hope. The return of the rains brings relief and renewal, reviving the land and setting the stage for another season of abundance and challenge. This endless rhythm of wet and dry, migration and adaptation, is the heartbeat of the savannah, shaping every life and every story beneath its vast skies. The African savannah, a vast and ancient ecosystem, is under siege from a multitude of natural and environmental pressures, each one threatening its delicate balance. Among the most formidable challenges are natural disasters, which can strike with little warning and leave lasting scars on the landscape. Prolonged droughts, driven by shifting climate patterns, parch the earth and wither the grasslands, depriving animals of the water and nourishment they need to survive. Unpredictable rainfall and extreme heat waves can transform once fertile plains into barren stretches, forcing wildlife to travel farther in search of sustenance. When rivers run dry and grasses fail to regenerate, the entire food web is disrupted, placing immense strain on every species. Elephants, gazelles, and countless other creatures must compete fiercely for the few remaining resources, often leading to increased mortality and weakened populations. Starvation and dehydration become common, and the struggle for survival intensifies as the ecosystem teeters on the edge. Natural disasters such as wildfires, often sparked by lightning during the dry season, can sweep across the savannah, consuming vast tracts of vegetation and leaving animals exposed and vulnerable. Conversely, sudden floods can inundate low-lying areas, isolating animal groups and destroying nesting grounds, further destabilizing the fragile environment. Swarms of insects, such as locusts, can descend upon the savannah, stripping it bare of vegetation and leaving little behind for grazing animals. Competition among species is another relentless force. Predators and scavengers vie for limited prey, while herbivores must outmaneuver each other for access to the last patches of edible grass. During times of scarcity, mass migrations occur, with herds traversing great distances in search of food and water, often at great peril. The competition for resources can lead to fierce confrontations, with only the strongest or most adaptable individuals able to endure. Environmental pressures also include the spread of disease, which can sweep through weakened populations, further reducing their numbers and threatening the stability of the ecosystem. As the savannah endures these relentless challenges, its ability to recover is tested time and again. Yet despite these hardships, the savannah remains a place of remarkable resilience, where life persists against the odds. The future of this extraordinary ecosystem depends on its ability to withstand and adapt to the ever-present threats posed by nature itself. Only through the ongoing cycles of challenge and renewal can the savannah continue to support the incredible diversity of life that calls it home. As the first light of dawn stretches across the African savanna, a remarkable story of collaboration unfolds, not just among people, but within the very fabric of wildlife itself. Across these vast grasslands, countless species have learned to work together, forging alliances that are vital for survival. Herds of zebras and wildebeest often travel side by side, their combined numbers offering greater protection from predators and increasing their chances of finding fresh grazing grounds. Interspecies cooperation is everywhere. Oxpecker birds perch atop buffalo and giraffes, feeding on ticks and parasites. In return, these vigilant birds alert their host to approaching danger, creating a mutualistic bond that benefits both. Elephants, the architects of the savanna, use their strength to dig waterholes during the dry season. These precious pools become lifelines for countless animals, from antelope to birds, all drawn together by the promise of water. Even in the aftermath of a hunt, cooperation continues. Vultures, hyenas, and jackals gather at carcasses, each playing a role in the efficient recycling of nutrients. This scavenger alliance ensures that nothing goes to waste, maintaining the delicate balance of the ecosystem. Different species often share the same space by occupying unique ecological niches. Giraffes browse the treetops, antelope graze the grasses below, and birds flit between branches, each feeding in their own way and reducing competition for resources. Some animals, like meerkats, rely on teamwork within their own species. While some forage, others stand guard, scanning for danger and sounding the alarm if a predator approaches. This division of labor increases the group's chances of survival. Even apparent rivals can coexist. Crocodiles and hippos share riverbanks, each respecting the other's space, while birds fish in the shallows, taking advantage of the safety provided by these larger animals. The intricate web of life extends underground as well. Termite mounds, built by millions of tiny engineers, provide shelter for aardvarks, warthogs, and mongooses, each species benefiting from the work of another. Predators and prey are locked in a constant dance, shaping each other's behavior and numbers. This dynamic tension keeps populations in check and ensures the health of the entire ecosystem. During the Great Migrations, the spectacle of thousands of animals moving as one is a testament to the power of collective survival. Predators follow the herds, but so do scavengers and opportunists, all playing their part in the cycle of life. Even the smallest creatures contribute. Insects pollinate flowers, birds disperse seeds, and every action ripples outward, supporting the growth and renewal of the savanna. The African savanna thrives because of these intricate relationships. Every species, from the mightiest elephant to the tiniest ant, plays a role in maintaining the balance of this extraordinary ecosystem. As the sun sets, the savanna is alive with the sounds and movements of countless creatures, each connected to the other in a web of cooperation and competition. The future of this landscape depends on the continued harmony among its wild inhabitants. Their survival strategies, alliances, and adaptations are a testament to the power of working together in nature. Even ancient rivals like lions and hyenas, though often in conflict, are bound by the same rules of survival, each shaping the other's destiny and contributing to the resilience of the savanna. In the end, the story of the savanna is one of interdependence, a living mosaic where every creature, great and small, is both a player and a partner in the grand drama of life. By understanding and respecting these natural collaborations, we can better appreciate the beauty and complexity of the wild and the importance of preserving this delicate balance for generations to come. When a predator's hunt ends and the savanna quiets, a new chapter in the cycle of life begins. Scavengers, nature's tireless cleanup crew, emerge from the shadows, drawn to the remains left behind. Their arrival marks a crucial phase in the ecosystem, where nothing is wasted and every resource is recycled. Vultures, with their keen eyesight and soaring flight, are often the first to descend. Their powerful beaks and specialized stomach acids allow them to consume flesh and bone that would be toxic to other animals. As they strip a carcass clean, they prevent the spread of disease, turning potential hazards into nourishment that fuels the food web. Hyenas soon follow, their jaws among the strongest in the animal kingdom. Unlike many predators, hyenas are both hunters and scavengers, adapted to crush even the toughest bones and extract every last nutrient. Their efficient digestion breaks down material that few others can process, ensuring that even the hardest remains are returned to the earth. Jackals and marabou storks join the gathering, each specializing in different scraps. Jackals dart in and out, snatching morsels overlooked by larger competitors. Marabou storks use their long bills to probe deep into carcasses, feeding on what others cannot reach. This division of labor among scavengers means that every part of a carcass is consumed, down to the smallest fragment. The interactions at a kill site are complex and ever-changing. Vultures squabble over prime positions, hyenas challenge each other for dominance, and jackals wait patiently for their moment. These encounters are not just about competition. They are a finely tuned system that ensures the rapid and efficient recycling of nutrients. Scavengers also play a crucial role in disease control. By swiftly removing decaying matter, they limit the spread of pathogens that could threaten both wildlife and the balance of the savannah. Their work supports healthier populations of herbivores and predators alike. Even the smallest scavengers have a part to play. Dung beetles roll away remnants, while ants and termites finish the job below the surface, breaking down what remains into the soil. This constant turnover enriches the earth, supports new plant growth, and sustains the endless cycle of life. Through their unique behaviors and interactions, scavengers form an invisible backbone of the savanna ecosystem. Their presence ensures that no resource is wasted and that life in the grasslands continues in a seamless, unbroken chain. In the grand story of survival, these unsung heroes are indispensable, quietly maintaining the health and resilience of one of the world's most dynamic landscapes. As the savanna sun slips below the horizon, a transformation sweeps across the grasslands. Daytime's vibrant activity gives way to a world cloaked in darkness, a realm where the rules of survival shift and new creatures rise to prominence. This is the nocturnal savanna, alive with subtle sounds and hidden dramas that unfold beneath the stars. Nightfall is the domain of the stealthy and the sensitive. Animals with keen senses and specialized adaptations emerge from their daytime refugees. The African civet, with its masked face and flecked coat, prowls along the undergrowth, relying on a heightened sense of smell to locate insects, small mammals, and fallen fruit. Its large eyes capture every glimmer of moonlight, guiding it through the gloom. Nearby, a pair of aardvarks shuffle through the shadows, their elongated snouts sniffing out termite mounds. With powerful claws, they dig swiftly and silently, feasting on thousands of insects in a single night, an essential service that keeps termite populations in check. Their thick skin protects them from bites, while their solitary habits help them avoid nocturnal predators. Predators, too, adapt to the cover of darkness. The lion's roar, a low rumble that travels miles across the plain, signals the start of the hunt. Under the cloak of night, lions leverage their exceptional night vision, 6 times more sensitive than that of humans, to stalk unsuspecting prey. Their coordinated group tactics become even more effective in the dim light, allowing them to approach within striking distance before launching a silent ambush. Leopards, solitary and elusive, take advantage of the night's concealment to patrol their territories. With padded paws and unmatched agility, they climb trees and leap from branch to branch, searching for roosting birds or small mammals. Their spotted coats break up their outline, rendering them nearly invisible in the shifting shadows. Hyenas, too, are tireless after dark. Their whooping calls echo across the savannah as clans navigate by scent and sound, seeking both fresh kills and overlooked scraps from the day's feasts. Their acute hearing picks up the faintest rustle, and their endurance ensures that few opportunities are missed. Prey animals, meanwhile, adopt their own strategies for survival. Impalas and gazelles form tight groups, relying on collective vigilance to detect prowling predators. Many species, like the spring hare, adopt nocturnal habits specifically to avoid daytime hunters, using powerful hind legs to bound away at the first hint of danger. Smaller creatures thrive in this world of darkness. Bush babies leap between thorny branches, using oversized eyes to track insects and fruit. The African grass owl glides silently above the grass, its facial disc funneling the slightest sounds to pinpoint the movement of rodents below. Even the insects of the savannah take on new life after nightfall. Fireflies flicker above the grasses, communicating with flashes of bioluminescence. Moths and beetles emerge in swarms, providing a feast for bats that flit through the night air, guided by the echoes of their ultrasonic calls. The nocturnal savannah is a place of exquisite balance, where every adaptation, from the reflective tapetum in an animal's eye to the camouflage of a nightjar's feathers, is honed for survival under the stars. Here, predator and prey engage in a silent dance, reliant on senses sharpened for darkness and instincts shaped by countless generations. As dawn approaches and the first birds begin to call, the creatures of the night retreat to their hiding places. The savannah's hidden world of shadows gives way once more to the light, but its secrets linger, etched in the footprints, the calls, and the quiet resilience of those who thrive after sunset. The savannah, shaped by millennia of sun and rain, now faces a new and relentless force, climate change. Invisible yet undeniable, its effects ripple across the landscape, altering the delicate fabric of life that has flourished here for generations. Longer, harsher, dry seasons parch the earth, shrinking watering holes to cracked mud and dust. Rainfall patterns, once predictable, have grown erratic, with prolonged droughts followed by sudden intense storms. These shifts disrupt the ancient rhythms that govern life on the savannah. Animal behavior, too, is changing. Herds of wildebeest and zebra, guided by instinct and memory, now find their migratory cues confused by unreliable rains. Routes that once led to lush pastures may now end in barren fields, forcing these animals to travel farther and riskier paths in search of food and water. Some, weakened and exhausted, are left behind, altering the balance between predator and prey. Predators adapt in turn. Lions and cheetahs, dependent on the movements of their prey, must expand their territories and hunt at different times of day, increasing competition and straining social bonds within their prides and coalitions. Even the scavengers, hyenas and vultures, face new challenges as shifting carcass availability and rising temperatures threaten their survival. Plant life, the silent foundation of the savannah, is not immune. Grasses that once sprouted after each rainfall now struggle to take root in drier soils. Invasive species, better suited to the changing climate, outcompete native plants, subtly reshaping the landscape and the diets of the herbivores that depend on them. These changes ripple outward, affecting the entire ecosystem. The loss of certain plants and animals can trigger cascading effects, undermining the resilience of the savannah's intricate web of life. Species that once coexisted in balance now face an uncertain future, their survival dependent on their ability to adapt or the world's commitment to safeguarding their home. Yet, even as the challenges mount, the savannah endures. Its story is one of resilience, adaptation, and hope, a reminder that the fate of this remarkable ecosystem rests not only in the hands of nature, but in the choices made far beyond the grasslands themselves. Beneath the towering grasses and the thunder of hooves, an unseen world thrives, a realm ruled by insects and small creatures, the silent architects of the savannah. Though often overlooked, these minute beings are the foundation upon which the entire ecosystem rests, their daily labors shaping the health and balance of the grasslands. Termites, the master builders of the savannah, construct vast mounds that rise like miniature skyscrapers from the earth. These structures are more than homes, They are microclimates, regulating temperature and moisture for entire colonies. The tunnels within aerate the soil, allowing rainwater to penetrate deep, nourishing the roots of grasses and trees. As termites break down tough plant matter, they recycle nutrients, enriching the earth and supporting the growth that sustains herbivores above. Ants, too, are tireless engineers, some species farming aphids for their sweet secretions, others waging territorial wars that shape the boundaries of plant communities. Their underground networks turn and mix the soil, dispersing seeds and helping new plants to take root. Dung beetles, with their remarkable strength, roll and bury the waste of larger animals, preventing the spread of disease and returning vital nutrients to the land. Each beetle's journey is a small act of renewal, their presence a testament to the interconnectedness of life. In this miniature world, survival demands ingenuity. Grasshoppers blend seamlessly with their surroundings, leaping from danger with astonishing speed. Praying mantises wait motionless, masters of ambush, while spiders weave intricate webs to ensnare the unwary. At night, fireflies flicker across the veld, their glowing signals a silent language in the darkness. These small creatures are not only prey, they are partners in the grand design of the savannah. Birds, mongooses, and even elephants rely on them for food, while some, like oxpeckers, form symbiotic alliances, removing ticks from the hides of buffalo and giraffe, gaining sustenance in return. The harmony of the savannah depends on these hidden workers. Their ceaseless activity sustains the soil, cycles nutrients, and supports the lives of creatures great and small. In every flutter, crawl, and buzz, they remind us that even the tiniest inhabitants play an outsized role in the survival of this remarkable land. The savannah's story is not only written in the tracks of lions or the migrations of herds, but in the delicate footprints of its smallest, most essential residents. Across the vast, sun-drenched expanses of the savannah, water is the most precious resource of all. It shapes the landscape, dictates the rhythms of life, and determines the fate of every creature. Rivers carve winding paths through the grasslands, their banks lined with lush vegetation, a stark contrast to the golden plains beyond. These waterways are more than geographical features. They are arteries of survival, supporting a tapestry of life that ebbs and flows with their currents. Permanent rivers, such as the Mara and the Nile, provide a year-round haven for animals. Towering acacia trees cluster along their edges, drawing up moisture and offering shade to herds of elephants as they drink and bathe. Crocodiles bask on the mudflats, lying in wait for unsuspecting prey, while hippos spend their days submerged, cooling their massive bodies beneath the surface. Fish dart among reeds, feeding birds like kingfishers and storks, while dragonflies skim the water's edge. Beyond the rivers, lakes form shimmering oases in the heart of the savannah. Some, like Lake Victoria, stretch for miles, supporting entire ecosystems of their own. Flocks of flamingos gather in the shallows, their pink plumage reflected in mirror-like waters. These lakes become bustling hubs during the dry season, drawing zebras, wildebeest, and antelope from miles around. Here predators gather too, knowing that the hunt is easiest where thirst brings prey within reach. Yet not all water is permanent. Seasonal pools or pans appear with the rains, transforming arid stretches into temporary wetlands. Frogs emerge from dormancy, their chorus filling the night air, while insects swarm to the new abundance. Birds migrate from distant lands, drawn by the promise of food and nesting sites. As the sun intensifies and pools shrink, animals must travel farther, sometimes risking dangerous journeys to survive. Beneath the surface, hidden aquifers store water deep within the earth, tapped by the roots of ancient baobab trees. Some animals, like elephants, use their tusks to dig for water in dry riverbeds, creating wells that others depend on. The patterns of rainfall, the rise and fall of rivers, and the fleeting presence of seasonal pools all weave together a story of adaptation and resilience. In the savannah, every drop counts. Water sources dictate migration routes, shape social hierarchies at crowded watering holes, and even drive the evolution of behaviors and bodies. The struggle for water is timeless, binding predator and prey, plant and animal, in a delicate balance. Without these lifelines, the savannah's vibrant web of life would unravel, reminding us that in this world of extremes, water truly is the essence of survival. Beneath the endless sky and among the golden grasses, the true architects of the savannah quietly thrive. The plant life here is as varied and resilient as the animals it sustains. Each species a master of adaptation, uniquely equipped to endure the harsh cycles of drought and deluge. The iconic acacia stands sentinel, its umbrella-shaped canopy casting precious shade over the plains. Its leaves, delicate yet tough, are protected by formidable thorns, defenses honed to deter the browsing of hungry giraffes and elephants. Yet, acacias are not defenseless alone. When grazed upon, some release chemical signals into the air, warning neighboring trees to ramp up their own bitter tannins, turning a single meal into a lesson in cooperation and chemical warfare. Towering above the grasslands, the ancient baobab appears almost otherworldly. Its swollen trunk stores thousands of liters of water, a living reservoir for the dry season. When food grows scarce, elephants tear at its fibrous bark, extracting moisture and nutrients. In return, the baobab's fallen fruit feeds monkeys, baboons, and birds, while its hollowed interiors shelter everything from owls to bees. Closer to the earth, a tapestry of grasses forms the backbone of the savannah. Species like red oatgrass and stargrass grow in dense clumps, their deep roots anchoring the soil against erosion and reaching for hidden moisture. These grasses are not only food for vast herds of grazers, but also regenerate quickly after fire, their seeds lying dormant until the rains awaken them. Fire, often sparked by lightning, is both destroyer and renewer, clearing old growth and making way for fresh shoots that sustain the cycle of life. Wildflowers and herbs, though fleeting, play a vital role. Their brief bursts of color attract pollinators, bees, butterflies, and birds, whose visits ensure the next generation. Some, like the sensitive mimosa, fold their leaves at the slightest touch, a clever deterrent to nibbling herbivores. The intricate web of plant life shapes every aspect of the savannah. Trees create microclimates, offering refuge from the relentless sun. Roots stabilize the earth, preventing desertification. Fallen leaves and branches enrich the soil, providing nutrients for future growth. And through it all, plants and animals are locked in an ancient dance, one feeding, sheltering, and shaping the other. In the savannah's grand design, these silent survivors are not merely scenery, but the very foundation upon which all life depends. Their quiet resilience echoes in every breath of wind across the grass, reminding us that in this land of extremes, survival is rooted in adaptation, cooperation, and the intricate connections that bind all living things. Across the sun-baked plains and beneath the scattered shade of ancient trees, the savannah's greatest drama quietly unfolds, the struggle to raise a new generation. Here, every birth is a gamble, and every sunrise brings fresh challenges for the youngest inhabitants of this vast ecosystem. For animal parents, the stakes are high, and survival demands ingenuity, vigilance, and sacrifice. Parental strategies are as diverse as the creatures themselves. Some, like the wildebeest and zebra, rely on safety in numbers. When the calving season arrives, thousands of mothers give birth within a narrow window, overwhelming predators with sheer abundance. Newborns, still wobbling on uncertain legs, must stand and run within minutes. Their first lesson in the relentless pace of life on the open plain. Others, like the cheetah, adopt stealth and secrecy. A cheetah mother tucks her tiny, spotted cubs into dense grass or rocky outcrops, moving them frequently to avoid detection by prowling hyenas and lions. She hunts alone, leaving her young hidden and vulnerable, returning only when the coast is clear. For weeks, silence and camouflage are their only defenses. birds of the savannah face their own trials. Ground-nesting species such as lapwings and ostriches lay eggs in shallow scrapes, relying on cryptic colouring to shield their clutches from marauding mongooses or snakes. Ostrich parents take turns incubating, the drab female by day, the dark-feathered male by night, blending perfectly with their surroundings. Yet, even with these precautions, only a few chicks will ever reach adulthood. For some, cooperation is key. Elephants, led by experienced matriarchs, form tight-knit family units. Calves are surrounded by attentive mothers, aunts, and siblings, each ready to guide, protect, and teach. When danger approaches, the herd circles their young, forming a living barricade against threats. This communal care gives elephant calves a fighting chance in a world filled with peril. Despite these strategies, the odds are daunting. Predators, disease, drought, and even fire claim countless young each season. Survival rates are sobering. For many species, more than half of all offspring will not see their first year, yet those that endure emerge stronger, their lives shaped by the lessons of hardship and resilience. In the savannah, every new life is a testament to perseverance. The cycle of birth and survival is never guaranteed, but through adaptation, ingenuity, and the fierce determination of parents, the next generation rises, ready to face the challenges of a land where only the most resourceful can thrive. As dawn breaks over the savannah, a tapestry of sound unfurls across the grasslands. Communication is the lifeline that binds the animals of the savannah, shaping everything from social bonds to survival strategies. Each species, in its own unique way, uses a rich array of signals, vocal, visual, and even chemical, to navigate the challenges of their wild home. Lions begin the chorus, their deep resonant roars rolling for miles across the open land. These powerful calls serve as both warning and welcome, staking territory, rallying pride members, and keeping rivals at bay. Meanwhile, hyenas answer with eerie whoops and giggles, a complex vocal code that conveys excitement, alarm, or the arrival of a meal. Their laughter, far from humorous, is a sophisticated tool for maintaining clan hierarchy and coordinating group hunts. Elephants communicate with low-frequency rumbles, many of which are inaudible to humans but travel great distances through the ground. These seismic messages help distant herds stay in touch, warn of danger, or signal the discovery of water. When calves are threatened, a trumpet blast from the matriarch mobilizes the herd into immediate action, uniting them with a single, urgent purpose. For smaller creatures, subtlety is key. Meerkats stand sentry, emitting sharp barks and chirps to alert their group of approaching predators. Each alarm call is finely tuned, indicating not just the presence of danger, but also its type, whether an eagle soars above or a snake slithers nearby. In moments of calm, soft purrs and grooming gestures reinforce social bonds within the group. Birds fill the air with an ever-changing symphony, the melodious calls of the lilac-breasted roller signal territory, and attract mates, while the harsh cries of hornbills warn of intruders. Ostriches, though largely silent, perform elaborate dances, stretching wings and swaying their necks to communicate courtship or signal distress. Body language is as vital as voice. Giraffes, usually silent, engage in a slow-motion ballet of necking, swaying and swinging their long necks to establish dominance or resolve disputes. Wildebeest and zebras use tail flicks, ear movements, and synchronized running to communicate intentions and maintain herd cohesion. Even color and pattern play a role. The stark, black and white stripes of zebras may confuse predators during a stampede, but also help herd members recognize each other from afar. Flashing white tails or rumps can signal alarm, prompting a wave of flight through the group. Communication in the savannah is not limited to the visible or audible. Some antelopes secrete scent from special glands, marking trails or signaling reproductive readiness. These invisible messages are read by others long after the sender has moved on. In this world of constant change and hidden danger, the ability to send and receive signals, whether a roar in the night, a subtle glance, or a chemical trace, can mean the difference between life and death. Across the vast expanse of the savannah, every sound, gesture, and mark tells a story, weaving together the lives of its wild inhabitants in a language as ancient as the land itself. Across the sweeping plains of the savannah, time is measured not by clocks, but by the ever-turning wheel of the seasons. Every year, the land transforms in response to the shifting balance of sun and rain, heat and drought, a cycle that demands resilience and ingenuity from all who call this place home. As the first rains fall, the savannah erupts into a burst of green. Dormant seeds hidden beneath parched earth awaken within days, carpeting the plains with fresh grasses and vibrant wildflowers. Trees like the acacia and baobab unfurl new leaves, their branches heavy with promise. For grazers, this is a season of abundance. Wildebeest and zebras graze side by side, replenishing their strength after long migrations, while impalas and gazelles birth their young timing arrivals to coincide with the feast. Yet, abundance is fleeting. As the dry season returns, waterholes shrink and grasses turn brittle under the relentless sun. Rivers recede, their muddy banks marked by the footprints of desperate animals. Elephants, wise matriarchs leading their herds, recall ancient routes to hidden springs. Some dig deep into riverbeds with their trunks, unearthing precious water for their families and, inadvertently, for other creatures that follow. Predators, too, must adapt. Lions and cheetahs shift their hunting grounds, tracking the herds as they seek out the last remnants of green. Scavengers thrive in the lean times, their keen senses guiding them to the remains left behind by others. Even the smallest inhabitants, like termites and dung beetles, alter their routines, building deeper mounds or burrowing further underground to escape the heat. Plants employ their own strategies. The baobab stores water in its swollen trunk, surviving months without rain. Grasses retreat below ground, their roots and bulbs lying in wait for the next downpour. Some trees shed leaves to conserve moisture, while others release seeds designed to sprout only when conditions are right. As the cycle turns once more and the rains return, the savannah is reborn. The ancient rhythm continues, a testament to nature's power and the remarkable adaptability of life. Through feast and famine, drought and deluge, every creature and plant is finely tuned to the pulse of the land, a delicate balance that sustains the heart of the savannah year after year. As dawn breaks across the endless horizon, the future of the savannah is being written, not by human hands, but by the land itself and the enduring will of its wild inhabitants. The challenges are immense: expanding deserts, shifting rainfall patterns, and unpredictable temperatures threaten to reshape the very fabric of this ecosystem. Yet, hidden within the struggle, the seeds of resilience take root. In the heart of the grasslands, ancient herds of wildebeest, zebra, and antelope continue their timeless migrations, following ancestral paths etched into memory. Their movements, once dictated solely by water and grass, now reflect the subtle changes wrought by a warming world. Some roots grow longer, others disappear, but the instinct to adapt remains unbroken. Predators, too, face new tests. With prey patterns shifting and habitats shrinking, lions, cheetahs, and wild dogs must hone their strategies, hunting under cover of darkness, seeking new territories, or forming unexpected alliances. Scavengers, those tireless recyclers, find opportunity in adversity, their role as nature's clean-up crew more vital than ever. But perhaps the most remarkable guardians of the savannah are not the great beasts, but the smallest architects, termites, ants, and beetles, who tirelessly build, aerate, and fertilize the soil. Their silent industry underpins the health of the land, ensuring that when the rains finally fall, life can surge back with astonishing speed. Across the plains, conservation efforts, carried out by nature itself, emerge in unexpected ways. Elephants, in their search for water, carve new channels that become lifelines for countless species. Birds disperse seeds across vast distances, sowing the next generation of trees. Fire, once feared, now plays a crucial role in renewing grasses and keeping the ecosystem in balance. The future of the savannah is not without uncertainty. The threats are real and ever-present. Yet, with each sunrise, the resilience of wildlife and the adaptability of the land offer hope. The savannah endures, not through stasis, but through constant change, a living testament to nature's ability to heal, adapt, and survive. In the great story of the savannah, tomorrow is still unwritten, waiting to be shaped by the unyielding spirit of the wild.